Young color cooking up the sauce.
What's up, YouTubers? So I'm going to film a quick video before I go into work, actually. This one is going to be my first heartbreak. Isn't that some tea? We're going to call him Bobby. Bobby was probably my favorite and worst ex ever. He is my longest relationship and probably the only actual person I considered my ex. So it all started 10th grade. I was on my way to Fit for Life, and my school has a small gym and a main gym. And the small gym is where the girls' locker room is at. So if you have gym, you change in the girls' locker room and then you go to the main. And I remember I had changed in the small gym, and I was talking to Betty. Remember, we're gonna name her Betty. Remember this girl, okay? Just remember Betty, because she comes back in the story. So me and Betty were I knew her. We were in the same basketball team, you know. I've known her since elementary. We were pretty close. And I remember we were just talking, and she was telling me about the class. That goes on with that. I go into class, and me and my friend, we're just gonna call her P. Me and P we were pretty close. She was like my first friend at the actual high school since I had moved back from Vegas. And we walk in, and I see him, and he is your typical, you know, high school jock. He was the main pitcher. He was baseball. Everyone knew him. They loved him. He was fit. He was, I'm not gonna lie, he was fine. He was a fine kid. He was fine. So he's the first thing I noticed, and I didn't go to talk to him because I'm not good at talking to people that I think are cute. I get all nervous and jittery, and it's pretty bad. So I just didn't talk to him. I was like, you know what? If he notices me, it's great. If not, it's cool. And eventually my friend, she didn't come to school one day, and he offers to be my partner, to spot me and everything. And he helps me out with my workouts and stuff. And it's pretty cool. We're going off. We hit it off. It's fine. We're talking every class. Eventually, we start going to lunch together. And we become pretty good friends. So we're just texting all the time, you know, typical friends. We're always together. Then he eventually starts walking me to class, starts holding my hand, kind of getting more public about our thing or whatever. So there's that. And then a few weeks later, we go on our first date. He asks me on a date to the movies. I don't remember what movie it was. But we go to the movies. So he comes to pick me up at my house. He met my mom on the first date mainly because he wanted to be respectful. My mom thought that was like really mannered-like, and he was genuine or whatever. And so she really liked him when she met him. Mainly because he was like, "Hi, my name is Bob. I'm going out with Eileen. I'll bring her back at this time." Now, she fell into the trap. I fell into his trap. We all just did. Anyways, we go on our date. It's cool. It's chilling. We go on a couple more dates. Eventually, he asks me out. So he asks me out, and we're going great. It's the smoothest relationship I've probably ever had. It's cool, you know. I meet his family, he meets mine. My family loves him. His family loves me, and it's just cool. It's really nothing wrong. And then he starts coming over for Christmas, and he comes over for New Year's. So we celebrate that together. And then prom season comes around. I told him I couldn't go. And he asks me, "Okay, well, can I take someone else?" You mean like a group or something? Or like, what are you talking about? And he was like, "No, like, can I take another girl?" I got so mad. I got really mad. Because I don't know if it's okay, you know? But I was like, no, that's not okay. Then he made a big deal about it. About him not wanting to go to prom by himself or whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. He made me feel bad about it, you know? So I was like, okay, yeah, take her. Go ahead. And then I had canceled my plans. Or I don't remember what it was, but I remember I canceled it. And I was like, hey, I can go with you now. You know, like, we could go to prom together. And he was like, he totally just went off on me. He was just like, well, I already talked to her. Like, I already planned it, everything. You know, like, I'm not going to back out now. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. You know, like, it's cool, go with her then, you can go, it's fine. So then I thought he was just gonna like text her type of thing, because that's what he did me, you know. He didn't like ask me in a big thing. He just texted me, you know, are we gonna go to prom together? And then I was like, do you want to go to prom with me? I was like, yeah. I mean, I can't actually, but that's what I thought he was gonna do to her. But no, he like got a big ass poster. He had like this present and shit he bought her, like time, place. He timed it out perfect. And I don't know if he did it to make me mad, but he did it at one of his games, because she played softball too. Yeah, I think she played softball. So it's like around the same time, you know, like whatever. So like on halftime, or that's basketball. I don't know what their time is. I don't do baseball anymore, especially since he ruined it for me. But he asked her like in their halftime, whatever, and I was like, wow, like I was there because I was a supportive girlfriend, you know. I'd go to his games, I'd go watch him, I'd go cheer for him, and he did it while I was there. I remember I left that game, so we kind of figured that out, and that's chilling. Prom hasn't happened yet. We're at my house, and we're in my room. My room's downstairs in the basement, so it's kind of shaped weird because my basement isn't quite done. But on my bed, I have the backboard type thing, and it has a mirror on it. So, you know, when you lay on it, like, you could see everything type of thing. And he was facing me, so I could see everything he did on the mirror. And I can't remember what it was. What was it? I remember what it was I wanted to see or something. I remember it wasn't really anything big. Like, I didn't think he was cheating. I don't remember what it was. But I asked for his phone to check something. And he was like, okay, let me text my mom quick. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And he's sitting here and deleting conversations. Like, you know how you could see where it pops up again to delete or cancel, and like it pops again, pops again, and it pops again. And I was like, what is he? And so then he finally hands me the phone. You know, me being petty. I'm like, so are you done deleting, or do you want to delete more stuff? And then he got mad. He's like, deleting? I'm not deleting. Why are you always assuming shit, Eileen? Like, you're always just making shit up. And I was like, bro, like, I just saw you delete things. Like, I just saw you. Like, there's a mirror behind you. Did you know that, Bob? I was like, Bob, there's a fucking mirror. And then he was like, I can get them back. I was like, you just said you didn't delete anything. I get mad and I kick him out. I was like, you know what? Just go home. I'll talk to you later. And he's like, really? You're going to be dramatic? And I was to the point where I was so mad, I wanted to cry. Like, I think I was hurt too. I remember. I might have been hurt and mad, maybe both. I don't know, but I wanted to cry. Like, I was ready to bawl. And I kicked him out of the house. And I remember I called my aunt. I was like, hey, like, this kid is probably cheating on me. Like, can you come pick me up? Like, I'm about to cry and I don't want to be home. So then she comes pick me up. And I'm like telling her what happened. And she was like, are you sure you saw that? And I was like, yeah, like, I'm positive. Like, I saw it with my own eyes in the mirror. Like, no one told me. Like, I saw it. And then she was on me like, no, fuck. You don't need him, Eileen. Like, fuck him. And I was like, you're right. I don't. You know, and then eventually I got home. I texted him. He apologized and that. We weren't as good on terms anymore. We were kind of just flowing now. It was still kind of, we didn't really talk much anymore. I figured we were going to break up, or probably, you know, I wasn't really tripping. It was more like, okay, like, if you're going to break up with me, you got to tell me now. So I remember I got hyped up by my friends once. Like, yo, go ask him. Like, do it. I was like, you're right. You know, like, I deserve to know. So we're in lunch. And our lunchroom is like, it's a big lunchroom. And then just a hallway from the lunchroom. So, you know, like, he goes from the lunchroom into the hallway. So we're at the lunchroom. And I remember I was like, hey, like, I just need to know if it's going to be me or her. Like, that's all I need to know. Like, I just want to know because there's no in between. I was like, Bob, you really need to decide me or her. Me thinking, like, he's going to be like, yeah, it's you, babe. It's always been you. I want you and only you. No. This kid looks me straight in the eyes and says, I don't know how to think about it. And walks away. He walks away. I was pissed. So fucking pissed. He was walking to the hallway. And I just remember this because everyone turned around and looked at me. Everyone. I was like, Bob, I need to talk to you. And he was like, I'm busy. And I was like, no, like, I really need to talk to you. Like, it's serious. Like, I really need to talk to you. Like, I was so hurt where I just wanted to talk to him. I didn't want to go psycho yet. And he was like, and I remember I grabbed his arm. And he's like, I'm busy. And I was like, you know what? I'll decide for you, Bob. I was like, fuck you. We're over. And I remember at that time, everyone's like, damn. she just broke up with you. You is single, bro. She dumped you. And like the whole hallway was looking at us. And he just kept walking. And I was pissed and I walked to my class. I think I was in class early. I don't know what the fuck I was in class. And I was still mad. Like I was still like heated from what just happened. Like, holy shit, bro. Like I really just broke up with him. And I was in class and I remember I get a text. And it got from Messenger and it's like, babe, cleared your nickname. As soon as I read that, like, I was like it hurt. Like, I wanted to cry then. I was like it was finally hitting me that I had broken up. Like, we were broken up. And I was like, damn. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe I didn't. And I remember a day I went to my aunt's house and I just ran to her house. And I was like, you know, like, he said this and this happened and I got mad and this happened. And I was like, did I overreact? Like, was I tripping? I remember I was like, no, you know, like, you know, he was putting you second choice. You know, my aunt's always been the type to tell me straight up what's going on, you know. And I've always respected that about her. And that's why I'm so close to her. She's the one that always tells me that. A few weeks go by. I think it's actually a month, 2 months, a couple months go by. We're in summer now. So he texts me like midsummer, a random ass text out of nowhere. And he's like, hey, I'm sorry how things ended. I hope you're okay, you know, all that, yada, yada, yada. I hope we're still friends. You ever need me, text me, that shit. I was still mad, so I was like, fuck you. 3 days later, I texted him back, like, hey, just got your text. And then we start hanging out again. We start talking again. It's going cool. I was like, hey, we might get back together, you know, like, I never really lost the love I had for him, so it was still there. And I was, like, really excited, because I was like, hey, we're working on shit. We're getting back together. And then school rolls around, and this is where Betty comes back in the show. So I hear that him and Betty are going out to lunch together, and they're hanging out a lot. And then I see she posts a picture of him, like, on a date or something, like, puts heart's eyes. I remember that my heart sank and I wanted to fight her. I really wanted to fight her. I was like, wow, you're gonna like go behind my back and date my ex like that? Like, that's fucked up. And then it kept happening for like a couple more days, and then I finally confronted her because she's on my basketball team. So, you know, it's like I had to go find her. She was on my basketball team, so I was like, hey, are you and Bob dating? And she was like, well, yeah. And I was like, don't ever talk to me. Ever. And it's funny because when I walked away, my teammates were like, it's okay, Betty, give her some time to like accept it. She'll come back. You guys are good friends. I didn't talk to Betty the whole season. Me and Betty on the basketball court were like best friends. We'd have handshakes. We were like, hey, great job. We'd sit next to each other on the bench type thing. We were always together. Always together. And then as soon as I knew that happened, I cut it off. I was professional, you know, like on the court. I was like, on the court, we were cool. If I didn't need to talk to her, I wouldn't talk to her. Like, she called me Chav, and that was my nickname. I had a nickname, but I can't tell her. So whenever she called me that, she'd be like, hey, Chav, good job, you know, and we do our handshake. And I wouldn't even look her way. Like, if we weren't on the court and the game wasn't going, I didn't talk to her, and I didn't need to talk to her. I kept it strictly business, literally. And I hated her, and I hated him for it. And I remember I just cut them both off. And it was really hurt. It, like, really hurt to know that she actually went behind my back and did that. Like, I was so hurt. But point with that was, he's the only one that really, I guess, hurt me. One that I was actually hurt about. I was, like, really crying, like, sincerely about. That I really was so mad and hurt about. And to this day, I still don't like that ugly ass kid. I mean, he's still fine, but he's so, Have you ever met someone where it's like, oh, you're so cute, your face is pretty, you know, you got a nice body type of thing, but your personality is shit, makes you look like shit? That's how he is to me now. Like, but let me know your guys' stories down below in the comments. Comment down below what you guys want to see more about, you know, more story times, less story times. I don't know. Tell me what y'all want to see. But I hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.